Hello everyone, how are you all? Students, I hope you people are doing good. Today we will continue our topic, that is the indifference curve analysis. Previously also one video we have did about it. You have learned about the concept what is indifference curve. Yes, and with the help of this table and diagram also you have learned that how the different indifference curves give the different level of satisfaction. It shows the consumer's different level of satisfaction. So for that all information, let's just extend this topic. Okay, let's just discuss it in a more detailed manner. Let's see.
This topic covers consumer surplus, indifference curve analysis, budget line and consumer's equilibrium. Consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is experienced when a consumer is willing to pay more for a commodity that he wishes to purchase than what he actually pays at the price prevailing in the market. Assumptions. Utility can be measured cardinally. Marginal utility of money is constant and prices are constant. No change in income, taste, fashion, preferences of the consumer. Demand is only affected by the price of the commodity. Existence of difference between expected and actual satisfaction derived from commodity. Utility is independent of substitutes and complementary goods.
So now first of all in this we will discuss about the consumer surplus. Okay, that what is consumer surplus? So I have already told you that in economics surplus means the profit share. Okay, so here now it is saying that consumer surplus is experienced when a consumer is willing to pay more for a commodity that he wishes to purchase than what he actually pays at the price prevailing in the market. That means what, students? Let's just see, like if I have gone to market, okay, and there I have like pre-mindset I have made that I have to spend 500 rupees for purchasing the vegetables, okay, but when I have gone there, okay, what I have found that the prices of the vegetable is little cheap what I have compared in my mind. So I am able to save 100 rupees whatever I wish to purchase in that 500 rupees that all I have purchased, but still 100 rupees are like left because the prices are little less what I have expected. So that 100 rupees is a surplus to me. Why? Because I was expecting to pay that much of amount for purchasing all the items which I actually wanted, and at the same time when I went to the market I have purchased all the things which I needed, but still able to save some of my price amount, okay, like some of my money is like saved. So that is why that particular amount of money which I am able to save is the surplus for me. So in the example as I am saying that I am able to save 100 rupees, so that 100 rupees is my surplus. But now again, as this is also a theory which we are talking, so again there will be some assumptions. So what are the assumptions? Let's just see. The first assumption is that utility can be measured cardinally. Of course I am giving you the example which is having the numbers, okay, like I am saying that I am able to save the 100 rupees. So that is what it is, a cardinal utility approach, okay. So this is what it is saying, that the utility in this theory is measured cardinally. That means we used to express our satisfaction in numbers, okay. Now it is saying marginal utility of money is constant and price are constant. So what we are actually assuming here in this theory, that the marginal utility of money, that means what, the satisfaction which we derive from money which we are spending on purchasing of any good is equal to the price which is there, okay. So that means what, equal satisfaction we are getting when we are spending the money to purchase any goods. this. Okay, then it is saying demand is only affected by the price of the commodity. So how the demand is affected? Because obviously when the price of the commodity will change. So like for example, if the price of the commodity is cheaper, then more and more demand will be there. Okay, क्योंकि अगर मैं 100 रुपए में 10 यूनिट ही खरीद सकती हूँ किसी चीज का, और अगर वो प्राइस कम हो गया तो उसी प्राइस में मैं अब 12 यूनिट खरीद सकती हूँ किसी प्रोडक्ट का. ओके, in a vice versa manner, what will happen that if the price of a product or a commodity has rise, so the demand will be less because now we are not able to purchase that same amount of goods in the given money amount. Okay, so that is why the demand affected while there is a change in the price of the commodity. Okay, now it is saying existence of difference between expected and actual satisfaction derived from a commodity. Okay, so it is what the existence of difference between the expected and actual satisfaction derived from a commodity. There is a difference, okay, in what? In the satisfaction which is expected and which is actual. Okay, so why it is saying like this? Because I have set my mind to spend all the 500 rupees, but what actually happened that my satisfaction level increases more because I am able to save some amount of money also while I have purchased all the goods. Okay, so in that way it is saying. Now, the last one it is saying utility is independent of substitutes and complementary goods. Okay, so that means what? That utility which we are getting from purchasing this products. Okay, so it is not related or it is not dependent on the substitutes or the complementary goods. Now, the question can be asked that what is substitute goods and what is complementary goods. Okay, these things also you should learn. So what is actually substitute goods and what is complementary goods? First of all, substitute goods. Substitute, in another word, substitute is also called as alternative. Okay, एक की जगह दूसरे को जो यूज कर सकते हैं उसे हम सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स बोलते हैं. ओके, लाइक टी एंड कॉफी. ओके, इफ it happens now when you will go outside and ask for tea, okay, and tea is not available, then you can drink coffee also because this is alternative. Hot drinks, alternative. So these are the substitute goods. Okay, likewise there can be many other substitutes. Okay, like in the fruits also. Okay, so likewise the goods which are having the alternative, जिसका और ऑप्शन होता है, एक की जगह दूसरे को हम यूज कर सकते हैं, तो उन गुड्स को हम बोलते हैं सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स. ओके, now complementary goods. What is complementary goods? And students, you should understand and learn the meaning of this all things. So what is this? So you need to understand this. In complementary goods, those goods who jointly satisfied one's need is or are called as complementary goods. So those goods who are jointly satisfying one's needs, that means what? For example, bread and butter, car and petrol, likewise. Why? Bread and butter is like that, or you can say, bread and jam, likewise, because we don't mostly we don't eat bread like in a single manner. We apply butter or jam likewise. So both together only we are applying and consuming. And the next example I have given you is the car and petrol. Okay, without petrol, car is of no use. Okay, without car, petrol is of no use. Just an example. Okay, so like jointly they need for the working of car, petrol is needed. Okay, and what is the use of petrol if the vehicles are not there? So they both are required together at a time for using it for any particular thing. Okay, so that is why these goods which together jointly satisfy one's need. Okay, so that goods are called as complementary goods, like pen and ink. Okay, without ink, pen is of no use. Without pen, inks are also of no use. So those two products which jointly comes together and fulfill the needs of a person together, so that called as complementary goods. But here these two types of goods has nothing to do with this theory, because here whatever we are purchasing, it is of neither nature, neither of the substitute or the complementary goods. So that is what it is saying. So I hope you people have got the meaning of substitute goods and the complementary goods. Let's just see the further video. And whatever the exemptions are there that you noted down, the definition of consumer surplus, what are the exemptions, because likewise only the questions will come in your final exams. Okay students, let's further proceed.
D is equal to demand curve. OP is equal to price at which OQ quantity is demanded. PSE is equal to shaded area in the graph shows the total consumer surplus. Thus, PSE is equal to OSEQ minus OPEQ. That is, consumer surplus is equal to potential price minus actual price.
Okay, so with the help of table and diagram, now you have to understand the consumer surplus. This is what here it is saying that D, this is a demand curve. Okay, OP is where it is this and this. OP price at which OQ quantity is demanded. So in this price, this much of the quantity of a product is demanded. Okay, then PSE, PSE. Okay, the PSE, that is the shaded area here. Okay, this is the shaded area. Graph shows the total consumer surplus, and thus PSE is equal to OSEP. Here students, E is this. Okay, it is not mentioned, but it is here, E. Okay, so OPSE, okay, minus OPEQ, okay, that is S is here, okay, S is here and E is here, it is not mentioned, okay, so this is what PSE, E is here, so this PSE, this shaded part is consumer surplus, okay, and it is saying that how this PSE was derived, so it is derived by OSEQ, this whole portion, because this much price we have spent and this much quantity we have gained. So this all area is included in this price we have purchased, OSEQ purchased. Okay. Now we are subtracting OPEQ. Okay, OPEQ, we are doing the minus, so the consumer surplus is what? Potential price minus actual price. So OSEQ is the potential price and OPEQ is the actual price. So मतलब क्या है कि हमने पैसे तो इतने ही खर्च किए थे, पर हमको ये पूरा क्वांटिटी मिला. अगर हम सिर्फ इस पैसे की बात करें तो हमें सिर्फ इतना शेयर मिलना चाहिए था, पर ये जो इतना एक्स्ट्रा शेयर मिला है, दैट इज द सरप्लस अमाउंट जिसका हमको फायदा हुआ है. ओके, नाउ सी इन द टेबल, इट इज सेइंग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल it is saying about the quantity of gel pens, okay, and then there is a potential price and then there is a actual price. तो मतलब क्या potential price क्या था कि जितना हमने सोचा था, पर जब हम लोग मार्केट गए तो हमें कितना प्राइस देना पड़ा, तो वो था हमारा actual price. तो अगर हम एक क्वांटिटी की जेल पेन ले रहे हैं तो वहाँ हमें 10 रुपया एक्चुअली खर्च करना पड़ा, बट हमने सोचा कितना था कि वी हैव टू स्पेंड 30 रुपीज. सो दैट इज व्हाई व्हाट हैपेंड, दैट 30 minus 10 when we have like subtracted, we have gained 20 rupees as a surplus. हमें 20 रुपए का फायदा हुआ है. ओके, likewise if we are purchasing 2 quantity, okay, then 25 is actually what we have thought, but again what we have we have spent, what is the actual price, that was the 10. So likewise when we are subtracting it, so what we are finding, that we are having the surplus amount till 4 unit, okay, till 4 unit we are having. So here this table in the market when we go and realize that the prices are less than what we have thought. So in that way a consumer is able to save the money. Okay, so in that way they used to reach to this consumer surplus. Okay, so I hope you have understood this thing. So let's see the further thing.
Importance. It reveals the benefits which we derive from our purchase of the commodity in the market. It helps in determining monopoly prices, as a monopolist can charge higher price for his product. If the consumers are enjoying large consumer surplus, taxes are imposed on the commodities, yielding consumer surplus. Entrepreneurs evaluate the consumer surplus before investing capital. An investment is undertaken if the benefits are greater than the costs. Greater the consumer surplus, more advanced is the economy.
So now note it down this all that what are the importance of the consumer surplus. Okay, so it is saying first of all that it reveals the benefits which we derive from our purchase of the commodity in market. Okay, so obviously the benefits only which a consumer is getting while purchasing the particular amount, and afterwards what amount they are able to save, that only it reveals as a surplus. So that is the point number 1. Okay. Next it is saying that it helps in determining monopoly prices, as a monopolist can charge higher prices for his product if the consumer are enjoying large consumer surplus. So for that, first of all you need to understand the concept of monopoly and monopoly prices. So basically students, you are going to learn at the end of this this book, the last topic is there about the market. Okay, so the market are basically of 2 types, but as there is a now precise and reduced syllabus, so you just need to learn the one type, that is the perfect competition. There is another type of the market, that is the imperfect competition, and in that there are the different types of market. So in that one of the market is monopoly. Now what is monopoly? So monopoly, here in the green board please just see monopoly. So here 2 words are there. Okay, mono means single. Okay, mono means single and poly means seller. Okay, so a market where there is only a single seller are called as monopoly. Okay, ऐसी जगह जहाँ पे कि मार्केट में एक ही प्रोडक्ट है, उसका कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं है, तो उस चीजों को हम बोलते हैं मोनोपोली. ओके, तो यहाँ बोला जा रहा है कि मोनोपोली प्राइसेस को डिटरमाइन करने में कंज्यूमर सरप्लस हेल्प करता है, बिकॉज अब जिसकी मोनोपोली, अगर मान लेते हैं कि मेरा प्रोडक्ट है जो बस मार्केट में अवेलेबल है और कहीं नहीं है, तो कंज्यूमर्स के पास क्या ऑप्शन है कि या तो वो मेरे पास आके खरीदेगा और नहीं तो वो कहीं और नहीं खरीद सकता क्योंकि वो प्रोडक्ट सिर्फ मेरे पास है. ओके, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि मेरा मन, मैं उसका कितना भी प्राइस रख सकती हूँ, ठीक है, या फिर अगर डिफरेंट लोकेशंस के कंज्यूमर हैं तो मैं अलग अलग प्राइस भी चार्ज कर सकती हूँ, किसी से ज्यादा किसी से कम, अकॉर्डिंग टू द कंज्यूमर्स लेवल. ओके, कि हाँ ये सारे कॉलोनी में पॉश लोग रहते हैं, यहाँ पे हायर इनकम पीपल रहते हैं तो यहाँ से मैं ज्यादा ले लूंगी, और दूसरी जगह में थोड़ा मिडिल क्लास पीपल रहते हैं तो वहाँ थोड़ा मैं कम चार्ज कर लूंगी, और लोगों के पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं रहेगा क्योंकि वो प्रोडक्ट सिर्फ मेरे पास है. तो आई एम द मोनोपोलिस्ट. ओके, जिसके पास वो प्रोडक्ट है, जो ये मार्केट चला रहा है, उसको बोलते हैं मोनोपोलिस्ट. एंड व्हाट मार्केट आई एम हैविंग, व्हाट प्राइसेस आई एम क्रिएटिंग फॉर माय प्रोडक्ट, दैट इज द मोनोपोली. ओके, तो यहाँ बोला जा रहा है कि मोनोपोलिस्ट चार्ज हाई प्राइसेस फॉर हिज प्रोडक्ट if the consumers are enjoying large consumer surplus. तो अगर मान लेते हैं कि मुझे पता चल रहा है कि ओके मेरे प्रोडक्ट के लिए तो ज़्यादा खर्च करने के लिए लोग तैयार हैं, तो उनका तो पैसा बच रहा है, तो क्यों ना मैं भी प्रॉफिट कमाऊँ. तो उस चीज़ में मैं क्या करूँगी कि अपना जो प्राइस है वो थोड़ा और इंक्रीज कर दूँगी, जिससे कि मुझे और प्रॉफिट शेयर हो. क्योंकि कंज्यूमर्स का तो माइंडसेट था कि मैं 500 रुपये खर्च कर सकता हूँ और मैं 400 में ही बेच रही थी, पर अगर मुझे लग रहा है कि अच्छा उनके पास है 500 रुपये मेरे प्रोडक्ट के लिए तो मैं कर दूँगी 500. तो उनका तो माइंडसेट था, उनको प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा देने में, पर मेरा जो 400 का प्रॉफिट शेयर था जितना उसमें, अब 500 में वो मेरा प्रॉफिट शेयर बढ़ जाएगा. ओके, सो इन दैट वे इट इज सेइंग दिस point. Now it is saying taxes are imposed on the commodities yielding consumer surplus. So those commodities which are giving the consumer surplus to the consumer, taxes were also imposed on this. Okay, so that government can also make profit. Now the fourth point, it is saying entrepreneurs evaluate the consumer surplus before investing capital, and investment is undertaken if the benefits are greater than the cost. So entrepreneur क्या करता है, वो भी evaluate करता है consumer surplus before investment, and if the investment is undertaken if the benefits are greater than the cost. Okay, तो अगर बेनिफिट हमें ज्यादा मिल रहा है जितना हम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, तो कंज्यूमर भी क्या करता इंटरप्रेन्योर भी क्या करता है, वो इवैल्यूएट करता है कि कंज्यूमर सरप्लस कितना मिल रहा है मुझे इन्वेस्ट करने के बाद. ओके, और क्या जो मैं इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ उससे ज्यादा बेनिफिट है मेरे पास या नहीं. ये एक पॉइंट है जो कि इंटरप्रेन्योर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बोला गया है. Now the last one is greater the consumer surplus, more advanced is the economy. Of course, अगर हमारे consumers फायदे में है, okay, if consumers are happy in the market, so there will be more purchasing of the goods and services. Though development of the economy will also take place because more money will come to the market and to the government in the form of taxes. So in that way, it is saying that the more consumer surplus, the more development of the economy will be there. Okay, let's see the next thing.
The criticism is, it is based on unreasonable assumptions. It does not apply to indivisible and prestigious goods. It is a psychological feeling and hence cannot be exactly measured in terms of money. Marginal utility, MU of money, cannot be constant. Because when a consumer spends money on goods, his income decreases and the MU of money for him increases. Utilities derived from various goods are affected by availability of substitutes.
Yes, friends. So now we will discuss about the criticism. Criticism क्या होता है, जो कि ड्रॉबैक्स बताता है कि क्या क्या कमी है इस थ्योरी में. दैट इज व्हाट द क्रिटिसिज्म इज ऑल अबाउट. सो द क्वेश्चन कैन सेपरेटली आस्क दैट राइट द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ कंज्यूमर सरप्लस. सो यू हैव टू राइट दिस ऑल थिंग्स. ओके, सो व्हाट इज दिस? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दैट इट इज बेस्ड ऑन अनरीजनेबल असम्पशंस. जो भी हम असम्पशंस बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे क्रिटिसिज्म के अकॉर्डिंग बोला जा रहा है कि वो कोई रीजनेबल असम्पशंस नहीं है. नेक्स्ट बोला जा रहा है इट डज नॉट अप्लाई टू इंडिविजुअल एंड प्रेस्टिजियस गुड्स. ओके, तो कुछ एक पर्टिकुलर गुड्स हैं जिसमें कि ये एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता है, तो दैट इज द इंडिविजिबल, जो कि इंडिविजिबल यानी बांटा नहीं हो सकता, और जो कि प्रेस्टिजियस यानी एंटिक प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उन सब पे ये थ्योरी जो है वो लागू नहीं होती. ऑब्वियसली ना, क्योंकि जब एंटिक प्रोडक्ट्स की बात करेंगे तो अगर कुछ रेयर कलेक्शंस है डायमंड्स के, तो उसके प्राइस हमेशा हाई रहेंगे. हम जो भी एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं उससे ज़्यादा ही हमें पे करना पड़ेगा, उसमें हमें कभी छूट नहीं मिलती. अगर आप शोरूम्स जाते होंगे तो वहाँ भी आप देखते होंगे कि अगर सेल है तो सेल के लिए अलग से प्रोडक्ट मटेरियल्स रहता है, और कुछ एक जो आपको पसंद आएंगे उसे बोला जाएगा कि वो फ्रेश अराइवल्स है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो फ्रेश रहता है, वो कुछ नया, उसमें कुछ क्वालिटी रहती है, इसीलिए उसको हम सेल में नहीं डालते हैं. तो इन दैट वे व्हाट इट इज सेइंग कि कुछ एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जिसमें कि ये थ्योरी एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगी. Afterward, it is saying it is a psychological feeling and hence cannot be exactly measured in terms of money. Okay, तो बोला क्या जा रहा है कि एक psychological feeling है जो हमें फायदा हो रहा है, तो इसलिए हम इसको मनी के टर्म्स में एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकते हैं. Next, it is saying marginal utility of money cannot be constant because when a consumer spends money on goods, his income decreases and the MU of money for him increases. Okay, तो यहाँ पे बोला क्या जा रहा है कि इसमें जो हम assumption माने कि marginal utility constant रहेगा, तो वो इस चीज को deny करेगा. Okay, आपको बस इतना ही समझना है कि वो जो हमने assumption माना है वो हम इसे यहाँ पे deny कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि लॉजिक क्या कह रहा है कि when consumer spends money on goods, his income decreases, so the marginal utility of money for him increases. तो जब हम पैसे खर्च कर रहे हैं तो हमारा इनकम डिक्रीज हो रहा है, पर जो मनी का मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी जो मनी है वो उसके लिए इंक्रीज हो रहा है. ओके, नाउ द ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूट्स। ओके, तो बोला क्या जा रहा है कि हमने बात की थी assumptions में कि सब्स्टिट्यूट और कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स से इसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है, पर हम बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे क्रिटिसिज्म में कि अगर हम जो यूटिलिटी डिराइव कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स व्हाट कि सेटिस्फैक्शन जो हमें मिल रहा है एक पर्टिकुलर गुड को खरीदने में, वो अगर उसके अल्टरनेटिव्स हैं, ठीक है, अगर उसका सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स है जो कि या तो ज्यादा प्राइस में है या तो कम प्राइस में है, तो डिमांड कंज्यूमर्स का उस हिसाब से भी चेंज होता है। तो लाइकवाइज स्टूडेंट्स, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द इंडिफरेंस we have discussed about the consumer surplus. Okay, with the topic of indifference curve only, we are going to extend it. Okay, like indifference curve and the budget side also we have to learn, so that we will learn in the next video. Till now you have learned about what is consumer surplus with the help of the table and diagram. Okay, you have learned how we used to calculate the consumer surplus. Okay, and what are the assumptions, what are the importance, what are the criticism, that all you have learned. Okay, so I hope students this concept is clear. Please read from the book. Okay, read from the book. There all the things were mentioned very clearly, very nicely, and if you are watching this, you will be able to relate it, and still if there is any problem you can ask in the comment section. Okay, thank you.